Hello guys, this is a video for Zach and Ryan, playing Cogmore and Nunu against Vayne Taric. Now, as far as summoner goes, Vayne has taken Ignite, which is very weird. Normally you'd see Cleanse on Vayne. You've taken Heal. I'm not a massive fan of Heal on AD carry. I think Cleanse is better, but if you're more used to using the Heal, then that's fair enough. But you should probably try and get used to using it, as it's very good on those carries that don't have his natural escapes, such as Cogmore. I think you have an advantage in the lane. Like, Vayne doesn't synergize super well with Taric. Taric's a very aggressive support, but Vayne is kind of passive. Like, Vayne just wants to farm normally. Anytime Vayne really works in aggressive lanes is when you can synergize CC properly. Like Vayne Blitzcrank, stuff like that, it's kind of okay, but I'm not so sure about Vayne Taric. Like, unless you get your positioning wrong, you'll normally be okay.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Okay, you guys took ages to buy. Ryan Blood Boiled himself only. I have already watched this game like a million fucking times, so hopefully I'll already be clued into what's going on and I can explain everything to you all. I already did do a video for myself before this. I tried to do it as a test case, but Fraps didn't record it, so I missed out. But I was very self-critical. I did do a lot wrong in this game, so I'm not being like unduly. I'm not. I've referenced my own failure. I'm laughing like a boss there. It's pretty cool. One mistake you guys do make early on is you don't go base. You don't go back in time for golems. Like if we're blue side, our bot lane should always do golems, because it's too much of a good lane advantage to pass up on. At the moment, doing like nothing here. I mean, it's good to be ready for an invade, but not to pass up on doubles, because at this point you can't make it. I don't even think you can get back to lane. This took a way too long to buy here as well. You need to be probably like streamline your buying process in your early game a bit better, give you a slight advantage, because you're probably going to miss a few CS here and you miss doubles. The enemy team's stealing our red. There's no way we could know about this. I think Rob got here slightly late, put a sapling down, but the sapling didn't spot them as they went. Like, two of them had already gone into the bush by the time the sapling landed, and the other one didn't go up into the sapling because the sapling was seen by people that were already in the bush. So we got to lane. You'd actually get, oh no, you just about missed your first CS. If you activated your W, you probably could have got that, but it's no biggie, it's just one CS. Okay. Now, I don't think they start with any kind of advantage over you. I don't think, yeah, Vayne didn't get any experience, I think, for red buff. One thing you could try and do, like I think it's a really good idea, and that they do to you consistently, is to push. Like, Vayne has a really hard time farming under tower, and as Cogmore, who has a massive range advantage with Blood Boil, you can poke really well against people who are under tower. So they don't really push super actively, but their lane is pushing, and you're not really trying to counteract it very well. I mean, you get a few extra autos on that thing, but your lane is still going to push towards you. Don't really need to play like pussies. I mean, at this point you probably should, because Ryan's level 1 and they're both level 2. Miss a few CS, but you know, that happens. Just something that practice makes perfect. I think the Vayne is a lot more experienced than you, Zach, so I mean, it's probably not going to miss many CS unless you really try and harass her. But you probably should start playing more aggressive now you're both level 2. They can't out-trade you. If you kite properly, they literally won't be able to out-trade you. If you snowball the Vayne, Cogmore activates W and just hammers her. If she goes in to attack you, you just kite backwards. You're both faster and they're slower than you. And if Taric runs up to your face, you just hit him. Like at the moment when you're not autoing creeps, just auto Taric. Just get extra harassing. Just look to harass constantly. And at the moment, because your lane's pushing, like your harass opportunities are incredibly limited. If you were pushing them, they would be the ones that would be struggling with the CSing, and you would be able to freely harass. You're harassed a lot better than theirs. So at the moment, they're basically getting the farm lane they want. It's beautiful, Ryan. I want to see more of that. Oh, good. Yeah, spam laugh all the time. That's a surefire way to win. So as we see here, the wave is just crashing into the tower, and you're going to miss probably quite a bit of CS. Nunu struggles to help people farm under tower because obviously he's melee. Also the wrong minion there. It's fine. I do that as myself a lot. not good. Yeah, as you can see, missed quite a few CS when they pushed your tower, and if you do that to them, they'll struggle with the same problem. Like maybe the experience they have will give them an edge over you CSing a tower, but you know, they still miss some, and it's always good to make Vayne miss CS. I mean, ward rise right here. You'll see Taric no longer has wards. So this is a good shout to tell your jungler, like if you keep an eye on when he ran out of wards. I didn't do it myself because I'm lazy, but at the moment, like his ward will end. I don't have timers because fraps, but I've got like half duration left on it. So like a minute and a half, and then they'll have no wards, and they stay like really pushed for a long time without any fear of a jungler. At the moment, this is a bit too early to gank bot when you see the Taric's got full wards. If you're going to try and gank bot like this, I should probably do this in Rob's video. I guess I will do it in Rob's video. If you're going to try and gank bot like this, there's no point just walking into that bush and seeing if there's a gank opportunity, because they definitely have that bush warded. What you can do is you can just try and full on run. Just run straight past the ward, run straight into lane. Like it gives them less time to react. And if your bot lane starts being aggressive before you get there, like just a little bit, and like is kind of looking to poke a lot so they don't get suspicious, you might be able to find better opportunities that way, and it might actually get a successful gank. But right here we're playing very passive. Both AD carries actually do really benefit from a passive lane, but at the moment it's a bit risky like that. We got way too close. Here though, here immediately activate your W and turn around and pound. You have Blood Boil and you had your W active, so you massively outranged her. You saw her tumble away from you. She doesn't have Condemn. Taric doesn't have Stun, so you could have got like a lot of free harass off there if you'd have just manned up, done the deed. Here you want to pound Vayne, pound Vayne, pound Vayne. There you go. That's good. That's good. Bush isn't warded, so you can't see Vayne anymore. She's okay. So you can't pound. But there we saw like you put a lot of harass out on Vayne. Ryan, you play a little bit too recklessly, I think, from this point on, considering you don't have any HP, and yeah, you get bummed here. But it's okay. Zach gets a couple of wars. Zach you probably could have got an extra on Taric, but I guess you have minion aggro, so it's no biggie. Again, this aggression would be a lot easier if you guys could push out. But as you're kind of stuck here, right next to your tower with too many minions coming into you, you have to watch your trades. You're going to take a lot more minion aggro, and you're going to miss CS if you look to trade too much. Okay, so at this point, yeah, I've got 3 levels in a fire, I can't progress. You're leveling the right thing. Ryan should be leveling Blood Boil, yeah, and then Ice Blast, yeah. Basically, in every trade, you try and bait the Taric stun, like ideally. If Ryan eats the Taric stun, you start hammering Vayne, Zach, and then Ryan, you snowball Vayne ASAP. And then, basically, from that point onwards, you out-trade them. If you can avoid both taking the Taric burst, that's perfect, but like, there's no way they can trade with you if you just do that. I mean, you have long-ranged, high damage, and very high mobility attacks. Like here, Ryan gets a snowball, and you get a good bit of damage on Vayne here, who has to condemn you away, which like wastes mana, and it's good. I think you won that trade, but they do have sustain, but you have kind of sustain as well, so it's not too bad. Another thing to do is you should probably look to, because you have long-term damage, is you should probably look to trade with them over a longer period of time. Say there, you trade in bursts, like they use their burst on you, and you hit them for a bit, and you kind of come even, but because your damage buffs last longer, and they don't like at all really, so you can win follow-up fights. Like when their burst is gone, if you just keep hitting them, you'll win the trade. At the moment we're doing okay. How are we looking CS wise? You're losing to Vayne, but you've missed quite a few CS, which it happens, so it's okay. It's no biggie. They don't have any wards. Like they haven't had wards for ages. Like this is definitely a time when Rob should have been ganking or looking to gank bot. But I think all that we had like a really bad experience at the top lane recently with blue buff, so that probably explains that. Although if we'd have protected blue buff properly and just taken it without issue, Rob would probably have given that to Andy and then ran straight bot or gank bot before blue. Either way, it's probably a timer issue. Here, Ryan, you kind of lose your flash. Here, you kind of take a few extra autos. I think you could have maybe traded a few back onto her, but I wasn't really paying attention to what happened there. But I don't think I can rewind because Fraps goes mental. I think what happened was Ryan got condemned to a wall, didn't he, after Taric stun, which is unfortunate because I think you got a bit too close to that bush, Ryan, which you don't really need to do at this point. But it's good. Like you had to flash, you got Vayne's ult. Ideally you wouldn't have had to flash, but it gives you an opportunity to go back and get more wards. Zach's not really under any threat here at the moment. No, we definitely should have made use of the fact they're playing way too aggressive. They're pushing too hard when they have no wards, and as a team we should have seen this and boned them for it. This part you want to push like really hard, because she's going to want to base now to buy. You want to push this a tower, all the way to their tower. Take this wave and the next wave, and then you want to leave. Like that. You want to push, 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 push. Push, 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 push. And I think you opt to not push. Yeah, you're just last hitting. This is a really bad idea because Vayne is going to come back with items over you, and they're already trading evenly with you. If she has items over you, they're definitely going to win every trade, and it means like they're going to be okay with staying in lane for a long time because they have an advantage. There we go. We finally start pushing, but this is too late because Vayne's already almost back. You want to probably we wanted to push that out faster and probably take this wave as well. But Vayne can't push very fast, so you're not at a huge disadvantage here. It was a good job, you did go back, okay. I think you buy the same items as Vayne, if I remember rightly.
Team has slain the dragon.
You have the same farm as Vayne now. But Vayne will pull ahead slightly because she'll get back to lane for sooner. Okay, she has a Vamp Scepter? No, you got Vamp Scepter as well. Okay, cool, cool, cool. So we're doing alright here at the moment. I think we do actually have an advantage in lane because Ryan has his gold per 10 already, whereas Taric doesn't. If we see, Taric also has already run out of wards. He only came back to lane with 1 ward, which he placed in Tribrush. Well, I think you should have been able to see that because you already have a ward in Tribrush. So you could say, like, there's no wards. There's multiple gang paths available now if you do this. This should easily have won this fight, okay? Ryan should have snowballed the Vayne, and then Zach could just go. Yeah, Zach's hammering him. Okay. And she ults. Ryan exhausts, but that's a bit of miscommunication. Ryan, it's a really bad idea to put yourself next to that, to a wall. Also, a misplay there was Zach, you didn't use your summoner heal to save Ryan, and Ryan, you ulted instead of running away. If you'd have ran away and Zach had summoner healed, you would have lived. Like, Taric didn't even burn his exhaust there, but you definitely could have won that trade, but I think you were both, you're on 2 different pages. But it's okay, because you can just farm the tower. Like, it's not ideal because Vayne got a kill, and I think it was avoidable. Now Katarina's coming down, and I think we misplay this a little bit. We don't need to leave tower here because Rob is right there. They're not going to dive you. You don't need to miss out on the CS and sacrifice tower damage. Katarina's based. Andy should push mid. Andy is pushing mid. That's good. Ryan's nearly back. Rob probably doesn't need to be here anymore. And he's leaving, okay. Ryan's got 5 wards. You really, because Ryan's got so many wards, you need to make use of them, and you can use them just by pushing. If you push and you've got wards, like, it doesn't matter that you're overextended because you can see everything. Okay, so if they... There you go, Vayne's gone on Ryan. Ryan walked way too close to Vayne there. And Zach got stunned. Zach, you need to shoot while moving. If you don't shoot while moving, they're trading damage on these 3. That snowball needed to be much sooner as well. Because she wouldn't have been able to get like 1, maybe 2 autos off at the time that she got like 4 off if she was ice blasted. And I didn't trade any damage back onto them, so you generally lost the trade pretty badly. But you do have sustain, and she has run out of mana. So at this point, you look to heal up and then play aggressive. You're trying to push out, but it's not really going that well. Ryan, it's not worth random Ice Blast if you can take 3 autos. Just Ice Blast in conjunction with Zach being able to play aggressively, but Zach couldn't play aggressive because he was under tower, which means he has to get the CS. You have to choose between CS or damage your opponent, and it's not worth missing the CS just to get a couple of autos off. So they're going to base now. They're basing on a ward, so you should be able to see this and you should push out immediately, like as fast as possible. You're not pushing out. Right here, you should definitely, you want to shove, 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 shove. You want to shove, you want to kill this wave, you want to kill this wave, you want to get some tower damage and maybe kill the wave after. And then you want to base. But you're just sort of last hitting, which is far too passive. You can't get any kind of advantage. Like, I think this is where she comes back and you still haven't left lane. She comes back with a BF sword. A BF sword over your opponent is a big deal. You got no answer for that BF sword. So basically you're her bitch until you go back, and because you're not pushing, you're not going to go back. Okay, so now you're basically playing like pussies because she has BF sword. Your lane's pushing. Okay, the stun's gone. She hasn't condemned you into a wall, so Snowball needs to go right on her, Ryan. That was a bit too late. And then there we go, the EQ, and now just hit her. Just hit her, just keep hitting her, just keep hitting her. There we go, there we go. You could have probably kept hitting her because they can't turn around until Taric stuns off cooldown. See, that was a good trade. That's exactly how Kog'Maw and Nunu should fight. Except the Ice Blast needs to probably be a bit sooner, and then you can take less damage overall. Kog'Maw's a nightmare because you can't run away from him, so make use of that. Hey. It was alright, we probably could have looked to get an auto or two in. I don't know if your W was off cooldown. Don't worry about trading like single auto attacks with a Vayne. Probably she's out sustaining you now because she has a BF sword, she's out pushing you. You're not pushing back against her, which means she's going to keep the EXP advantage. And the fact that she has BF sword means she can poke you while you're under tower, like really easy. This is a problem with many ADs. Like you've got a last hit, and meanwhile while you're last hitting, their ADs either going to shoot the tower or shoot you. Both those are bad. Like you don't want either of that to make these things happen. I'm pretty sure I'm repeating myself a lot, but whatever. Yeah, you want to be shoving back Rob. You see Rob's got mobility boots. Now this is another misplay, Rob. If you watch this video, I'll go over it in your video. But you've got mobility boot. Mobility boots allow you to gank through wards. That's like one of the main advantages of mobility boots, is the ability to just run straight past the ward and go in. Like, you can't stop a mobility boot ward. Here, like, you think you're going to get died and you think you're going to trade badly, but this, they're not going to be able to kill you at the tower if you play it right. They will be able to kill you right here in the middle of nowhere though, which is what happens when Ryan dies for free. If you'd have stayed under your tower, right, Rob, who was around about here, would have come down and met you at your tower while you were getting dived. You have, the summoners you have up, you have Summoner Heal, you both have Flash, and you have Exhaust. Now, when the Katarina comes in, you just exhaust her. Now, she's doing no damage now. Taric's probably going to be tanking the tower. It doesn't matter. You've got Summoner Heal, and you both have Flash. So you can easily live for long enough for them to, that tower to really, really hurt them. And not only that, but you'll live for long enough for Maokai, for Rob to turn up, and you'll probably turn it. Like, you'll at least trade evenly. Probably you'll come out ahead. Running away was a pretty bad call.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Yeah, and as a result, we lose a turret and we lose a dragon. Right here is good. We don't really want to fight these people head to head because we know they're considerably stronger. We can see the score, and, but we have better poke. Because their only real poke is like bouncing blades and dark wind. Feels like hasn't been leveling dark wind. It's rank 1 on his dark wind. Katarina has been leveling bouncing blades, but it doesn't really do that much damage. I'm not quite sure why you're basing it. You're on full health and mana and you don't have any money. Probably should have just looked to go bot.
Delicious.
Nice wolves. It's okay for support to take random parts of the jungle if he's behind. as it stands, you're pretty far behind your bot lane now because, I don't know, you kind of misplayed it a little bit. Didn't really push your early game advantage. And didn't really look to trade as heavily or as well as you could have done. I mean, I know you had probably, I don't think you guys have played this lane comp before, so, and probably a little bit of lack of experience, but like, it's good to learn. That's why I'm here. As it stands, there's not really any farming to do. What I like to do, if our bot tower's down and there's a big wave just pushing into them, just go mid. Like, as the AD carry, just go mid and push mid. Which I think you're going to do wraiths. And then maybe go mid. Like, your mid laner doesn't really ever appreciate it, but it's worth doing. Pressuring mid is generally doesn't really have any consequences, and you always get to see where their jungler is, and your AD carry will still be getting CS even when his lane's pushed. Actually, exactly what I've done as well. Actually, no, I don't know why I'm here. I think I pushed Dudu up and then came mid. Oh yeah, Ryan got killed. We actually team fight here, but this. Okay, I'll slow this down. Okay, so we get a good bit of damage off. Back to ADW, that's fine. Ryan is dead. I actually forgot about that. Ryan, you should have exhausted Fiddlesticks as soon as you saw him ult. I know you were like feared and silenced, but there is a window before you get feared that you can get exhausted. Exhausted is instant cast. Now Zach, this is kind of really bad of you. You run into this bush for no reason. You're not auto-attacking at the moment, so you're not putting out any damage. You run into this bush. I'm not sure why, but you eat all of Taric's burst and you eat Katarina's Thousand Blade. Then you run all the way away, but no one is following you at this point, so you need to immediately start, you turn around and you start doing damage. You need to look to damage, as much damage as possible. You're running away now, I'm not sure why. You need to just be pounding. Pounding like that Katarina is ideal, because like Katarina's not moving while she's doing her ulti. Taric's stun is on cooldown, and you want to just put out as much damage as possible, but you're spending a lot of time moving around when you're already in range. You need to get more autos in the fight so you can maximise your damage.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
In the end, we trade well in the fight. We get 3 for... Oh no, we actually get 3 for 3, but I don't know if Ryan counts because it was before. Problem is we lose a tower top. And because we don't win the fight, we can't put pressure in mid, really. Because Fiddlesticks probably kill both of you. He's pretty fed. Back to normal speed. Also, it's like you didn't use your Void Ooze. Having like an AoE slow over everybody is really useful, even though you might not seem it. Just like throw it out there. Like, because if you put it down over this part of the brush, you would have hit like Fiddlesticks, Katarina, and Taric, and they would all be super slow, which is super slow enemies always helpful. But it's mainly just not like you need to put out as much damage as possible. You spent too much time not auto attacking, and you ate so much damage for free. Because you ran on top of that Fiddlesticks. Ryan, you got caught, which is okay. You probably played a little bit recklessly going into this bush, but there's no way you can know it was warded. But yeah, Fiddlesticks basically just ate you alive. The only way you could have lived is if you flashed. I don't know if you had flash, or if you just exhausted. Either of those probably would have saved you. So at the moment, they're coming to kill you. You want to leave because there's a lot of them. We're going to counter gank, so now you can go back. And we do. Now we're all here. They will just run away. We can't chase them down, so we might as well just get the farm. I'm defending mid. Yeah, you just want to shove out bot, come mid. The best way to clear waves on Cogmore is just to E, like the whole wave, and then just hit the back line with an R, and then just auto everything down. It's pretty expensive mana-wise, but it's not super bad, and it clears it pretty quickly, because E does a lot of damage. Not very rank-wide, it's 60 damage. Maybe not the E. The ult in the back line in between autos generally increase your clear time. Okay, this is good. Okay, so Fiddlesticks ults into the middle of us all. I'm way overextended. I get hit by Taric's stun. And Vayne just starts pounding on me. Andy gets CC to death, so it's just Ryan and Rob. Ryan, you haven't used any of your abilities. You probably want to have exhausted Fiddlesticks or exhausted Cat right here. All you've done is flashed out. You've blood boiled Andy so far in this fight, but you've done nothing else. You start ulting at the back, but it instantly gets removed. And a thing I find very consistently with you, Ryan, is you try and get your ult off without getting any of your other abilities off. You won't have got your snowball off, and there's fights, and like you might have got your exhaust off, and you basically didn't get any of that shit off. You just died. You ulted for like a millisecond, you got your E off on somebody, and then you died. Okay, Zach comes in. At this point, if you came in with your W active, you just instantly kill Miss Katarina. But for some reason you ult her, there's no real reason to do that. If you just activate your W, like, just the fact that you still haven't got your W active is pretty bad. You need to get that shit on as soon as the fight's kicking out. It gives you a massive range, massive damage advantage. Here, you don't need to walk towards Udit, you can just shoot him. I'm not sure why you're walking. And again, you're walking towards Vayne, and instead of shooting. In the end, we do trade well, so it goes okay, but there's definitely ways you can improve. The fact that you didn't use your W is, well, a definite thing. Kog'Maw's W is huge. It gives you a massive AD steroid, a huge range steroid. It's not an AD steroid, it's like a percentage damage steroid. The range steroid especially meant that while you were here, I think I just stopped holding down my control key to talk then. But yeah, you would have been able to kill Katarina without getting out of a couple of extra spells. And then you probably could have, well, I didn't die anyway, but you probably could have made that a lot less stressful for me by killing the Udit straight away as well. And the Vayne. But we won the fight. And basically, yeah, try and maximise your damage more. And Ryan, try and use your damn abilities. Don't just go straight in for the ult. You have to get like your abilities up. You didn't use your exhaust and you didn't use your snowball until like you were literally dead. As soon as that fight started, Ryan, you wanted to, if you were in range, exhaust the Fiddlesticks immediately. As soon as he jumps in, exhaust him. If you didn't exhaust the Fiddlesticks, which is what you didn't do, like he's on his, you just want to exhaust Katarina and you want to snowball Vayne. And then you want to ult. But you kind of just committed suicide after your ult got instantly interrupted. After your ult was interrupted, like we were too low health, you should have just backed out because you didn't have enough HP. Maybe exhaust someone before you back out, but just make sure you like try and stay alive because you die kind of for free a lot. And that's kind of just free money for every team when you could have lived. Here we try and take back Dragon, but you know they came back too fast. They're onto it, so we just leave, which is fine. They get Dragon, but we took 2 towers, which is good. We should probably just back out of it. I need to buy. I shouldn't be sticking around. I should leave. You must have quite a bit of money, Zach. Yeah, you've got 2,300 gold. You want to get at like to base ASAP at this point. Right, you probably need boots. And you've got enough money for boots and support, so you should probably base as well. You're going for golems. Mid here gets. I think we're okay mid here. Later that gets pushed and we kind of lose this tower for free, but it's pretty low anyway. Okay, you're going for top, that's cool. Don't be afraid to just take this farm, by the way. Like, even if the laner bitches at you because they want the money, it doesn't matter, like, you're quite far behind and CS on you is pretty useful because you've got no item. You don't even have boots. Don't even have boots one at this point. We're 26 minutes into the game. So don't be afraid to pick up a couple of extra CS. Baron, Zach's farming, that's cool. They're going to all push mid now. This is the part where they get mid tower for free because me and you are farming just top and bottom while their team closes in on mid and we don't have the resources to defend it. I think we leave as soon as we're done, yeah. We both do the same thing. We lose this tower for free, which is unfortunate, but it's got like no HP anyway. But we can defend the next one.
Has been destroyed.
Yeah, you take a nice safe route back. I like that. A lot of people just run mindlessly through their own jungle and die. You took a good safe route. They're looking to pressure Baron now because they reckon they're stronger, and they're right because they're pretty far ahead at this point. Their Fiddlesticks is just a nightmare, which you haven't really experienced too much yet because it never came to bot lane. This is pretty funny. So you tag Taric with your ult, and he walks into his team, revealing the lot of them. And revealing their grand schemes. Udyr just runs at us, but like, can't do shit, 'cause you void ooze him, which is good. Like, that's one of the main problems with Udyr, is that you just get like a strong slow, and he's boned. And void ooze just stops him in his tracks. Now, they're actually doing dragon. We can see Baron even. We can see because we have a sword here. But we should just look to poke and let Baron chunk him. You see Taric there went down to half as a Baron. Okay, this next team fight, a little bit, speed it up a couple of seconds. I think we just piss about for a bit. Okay, here it comes. Like, we'll run away because we see Fiddle ulting through that wall, but Ryan, you were too slow. And ideally, you want to flash. Like, if you know you're too slow, just flash out like straight away. And if you can't flash, exhaust him. One of the two. You didn't use anything here. You flashed really late into a wall, which is obviously a panic flash. You know, it happens, whatever. But yeah, you didn't do anything. I go insane here and decide I want to initiate a fight, but it ends up working out because I get 4 people with me. This is a good position for you. You can do a lot of damage to anybody you want. You can kill Taric pretty much immediately, and then kill Cat. This Cat knows Udyr. You probably want to be. You're exhausted at the moment, so while you're exhausted, you probably want to run away. Yeah, you shoot Udyr. You ran away there instead of you cancelled your auto. You cancelled quite a few autos. I don't really like that. I think it's definitely something you can improve. And then you just kill Cat, but you cancel the auto again, and Cat takes slightly longer to die than she needs to. There you shoot Fiddlesticks instead of Vayne, which is a bit of a bad call. Did you just flash? Yeah, that was the world's worst flash. Whatever. So try and ult after your auto. Don't ult auto. If you auto ult, you can ult between your autos instead of wasting potential auto attacks ulting. At this point, you can't fight this guy. Like, you want to just leave, which you learn eventually the hard way. Wasting summon a heal. Also, I've noticed when you do use your summon a heal, but you never use it when anyone else is alive. I've noticed this. You use it to try and kill the remaining people in a fight. Like, you use it to try and help you clean up, but you don't use it to help your team. I think there's 2 fights where you do this, and you kind of just heal late, and no one else gets the benefit, which is a bit of a waste of heal, to be honest. Okay. You got Infinity Edge. Vayne's like a Zeal above you, but she's got 9 kills. Whoops. Okay, so I'll speed this up, because we pretty much all buy and then we go back to Baron. Again, one of the benefits of cleanse, because you got exhausted by Udyr like every fight, which is good of Udyr. But if you had cleanse, you could just cleanse that off and not give a fuck, which is good. Probably would have given you a lot more use in team fights than Summon a Heal does. The Summon a Heal for you doesn't really achieve anything in this game. Whereas cleanse would have been able to cleanse off exhaust, and you would have killed Udyr much faster. Maybe we wouldn't struggle so much in team fights. So a lot of the reason why we struggle in team fights is that Vayne puts out horrific damage all the time, and we can't stop any of it. Whereas we don't put out quite so much damage. And they're going Baron. We're on to them. We're on our way. We're going to do the dance. This is quite fun. Doesn't kill the board. I take way too much damage from Vayne here, so this is a really bad start of this fight. But they take loads of damage from Baron, and Katarina is really low on HP. We got them separated here. We probably should have looked for an engage here. I'll slow this down. I think Ryan, I don't think you get much use out of your abilities here. Here, Vayne here, Ryan, is within snowball range. You snowball. Like, I flash into the initiate, but I derp out completely and walk into Udyr and die. which is really bad. Ryan, I don't know what you're doing. At this point, you definitely already should have blood boiled Cog, but you need to ice ball Vayne. You don't need to ult. You're going in here to try and ult, and you're just dying for no reason for it. You don't use your exhaust, and you don't use your snowball, so you just wasted all your potential in that fight. Zach got the kill, backed out. Well, you're fear at the moment, so you backed out intentionally. You've used your ability. I don't know what else you. I just wasn't really paying attention. I was busy because I know Brian like fucked up a lot in that fight, and I wanted to make sure he understood where he went wrong.
Double kill. Purple team triple kill.
It's pretty cool. Watch this in slow motion. Oh!
Blue team triple kill. Aced.
Okay, so while I couldn't make note of it in that fight because I was busy looking at Ryan, but I took note earlier that during that fight, basically you skipped too many auto attacks, and you ran around in a circle for a bit. Basically, you just need to try and maximize your damage. As we've said in previous fights, it's a pretty recurring theme I find with you when I'm watching you, is that you miss too many auto attacks, and maybe you spend too much time running around. I'm not sure what you're trying to achieve. Maybe you're trying to like find the perfect position or whatever, but as it stands, you're walking too close to people, and you're not shooting anybody. So your damage is, you're not pulling off anywhere near as much damage as your champion's capable of. Oh no, that's right. No, sorry, that was the wrong fight. Yeah, basically similar. You waste too many damage of potential. You don't get free auto harass on them when they're trying to do Baron. Because remember in that fight, I'm gonna slow this down. Because basically, Udyr and Taric were both stuck here. If you activated your W at that point, you would have got like 4 or 5 autos in for free, which would have absolutely chunked them both down. That would have been handy because you don't really poke as Cogmore. You don't make full use of Cogmore's ridiculous range. I think the running in circles and stuff like that I said earlier comes in this fight. It's about to happen. Also, you spend too much time shooting Fiddlesticks, who's draining. Like when Andy and Rob were fighting Vayne at the back here, Fiddlesticks was draining Andy. I think it was draining Andy. And you were shooting Fiddlesticks when you could have been ulting to Vayne, because if Vayne had died, Vayne might have died to 1 or 2 of your ults, or like an auto. You could just ran past Fiddlesticks. He's not doing anything to you at that point. Maybe we would have come across out that fight a bit better. But I don't know, either way, like everyone just got ace, so it's not a huge deal. I think this is our worst fight. Yeah, I think it's my this is where we goes really badly wrong. So I'll slow it down with it a lot. But I don't think there's much you can do. This is not a bad position to take up here, but it does make it kind of difficult for you when your W wears off during fights, because you have to go all the way around here. It's probably better that you just sit like in the middle near where I am with your tank lines and just basically stay slightly behind them all. I'll speed this up till this fiddle initiates. Okay, he's about to do it. If you watch me, I do a little laugh and I pay for it with my life. Okay, so the fight starts dreadfully for us. Slow it down. I die instantly without even getting off a single spell, so it already gone incredibly badly. This is really good. You pick off Vayne nicely at the side here, and Andy picks off Fiddlesticks, which is cool. Right there, you walked back towards them. You probably could have, as soon as you saw that last auto leave, you might have been able to flash over this wall and possibly get out. And it's a long shot, but it's worth a go. You also have summoner heal, so you could have flashed. Flashing like that's probably not very good. You want to flash at an angle if you want to try and actually escape, because here you just flashed over the wall, and obviously they can just cut you off either way. In that fight, Ryan, once again, you just ran in and tried to ult. I don't think you didn't use any of your other abilities. You just ran in and ulted. You didn't use your exhaust. You didn't use your flash. You didn't use anything. You just ulted. You know, Nunu's ult's not actually that good, okay? It slows everybody and it does a bit of damage, but that's it. I'd much rather have someone doing, like 2 people on the enemy team doing reduced damage. Like one of their auto attackers or one of their bruisers being slowed or attacking less often, and someone on their team, preferably Katarina or Fiddlesticks, just doing like no damage because they're exhausted. And you never really get it off in fights, and it's definitely somewhere where you can improve. It's back to full speed. Just going to skip forward. Anti-pressure the Baron nicely as we can do it. I'm not going to comment too much on your build because I don't really have time in this video. I didn't really make note of it before. They take Dragon, we push, and then we go back to Baron dancing. Here, we start Baron because we see Udyr bottom, which is pretty cool. Fiddle ults in, it's always going to happen. We're on top of it. Get away. We just leave while he's on his, and then we just eat the bird him. Boom! Okay. Let me take Baron. Just slow this down. Okay, so Vayne, once again, ulting, died. No point. Get your spells off before you ult. And then pick your position to ult. This is pretty good, like exactly just wail on them both. I don't know, you probably could have killed the Katarina before the Udyr, but I think it went alright. I'm just exploding violently on my ult at the same time. Now you definitely want to turn on a Vayne immediately here. You take 2 extra autos on the Taric, that's just complete waste. 3 extra autos on the Taric. Like 1, 2 of those probably killed the Vayne. There you go, 1 of them killed the Vayne. So you could have killed the Vayne like incredibly fast there and not risk like Rob dying. But overall went well for us because they kind of derped and they let us go free Baron almost. But then they fought us for it, but it worked out for us. But yeah, Ryan, you definitely need to improve on your ability usage because you just kind of die trying to ult every fight and it's not doing anything for the team. That exhaust has been off cooldown for ages.
Purple team's turret has been destroyed. Purple team's inhibitor has been destroyed.
Okay, we'll skip ahead here. Not a lot happens until
Purple team's turret has been destroyed.
well, we make use of this Baron really well.
Purple team's turret has been destroyed.
Basically, when we're doing this sieging business, use Kog'Maw's range. You do use the ult a lot, but you never really use the fact that the autos are huge range. Like, I'm trying to show a lot of presence here because I'm walking right up, which is something I quite like Rob to do more of as well. But obviously, knowing when he can do that comes with more experience. But you just activate your W and pound on anybody that's in range. Like, Udyr there got Rune Prison by Rise. You could have got like at least 2 autos in with the W. And also, you can nuke the tower with your W. Basically, you just want to look to harass as much as possible. And you're kind of just only using your ult, which is it's very expensive. Those are useful, like, I don't know. It's not really that much damage. Yes, we see one of them go mid and we're like, let's do them. Let's do them. We get the tower for free. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, and then we get the inhibitor. You want to be shooting this in him. I think you do a similar thing, but like if you activate your W, you can shoot it from complete safety. You did the same with this one earlier, where you were shooting the minions rather than the inhibitor. As a daily carry, you definitely want to be focusing on the buildings. You want to just get that shit down, kill it ASAP. If you got time afterwards, you can easily mop up the minions if you feel it's safe to do so, but just definitely get the damage on the tower because you do so much damage to buildings. Okay, this is funny. Fiddlesticks thinks we're going to keep pushing, ults in, and we're off. Fiddlesticks gets a nice bit of CS. We should have immediately ran around. Whoa, what the f? Okay, what the f? I don't know how to change that back. Oh my god, what have I done? Okay, never mind. I think this is roughly what it was. But yeah, we could have got a good engage then, but we kind of fucked it up. I don't know what I'm doing here. Fuck it. Fuck you, me. We'll go base, and then we go Baron. Got to speed it up. Let's do that right first, all good.
Purple team's inhibitor is respawning soon.
I know, we try and get the inhib, don't we?
Blue team has slain the dragon.
So this is fine. Kog'Maw's very good at this. Like, if your tanks are standing in front of you, just pop your W there to here. Like, you shoot all the minions before you shoot the inhibitor. We could have done that a lot less riskily. But it's all good. We got it. We'll go straight to Baron because we have a timer on it, which is a change. Spawn. Okay, so this fight goes really badly. We're trying to do a super sneaky attack here. We should have charaded immediately. That didn't happen. But whatever. Okay, so let's slow this down. Ryan gets stunned by Udyr. You get stunned by Udyr. And Udyr's just on your face. I think he exhausts you. Ryan, you ult again without using your other abilities first. Udyr's exhausted. Katarina here needs to be exhausted. You exhaust Kat straight away. Like, boom, exhaust. You do no damage. Zac has to flash. Zac, as soon as that's ended, yeah, okay, you turn around and you pound the shit out. That's good. That's exactly what I want to see. Because as soon as you're free of CC, and you should definitely be attacking the cat mode instead of Udyr, but it doesn't matter, like, she dies. Udyr gets exhausted by Ryan. That should definitely have gone on the Katarina. Here you could probably, yeah, just finish off the Udyr, and then you should look to hit that backline though. You attack the ward. You want to just pound Vayne. And what ability do you have? You got nothing. You got so many heals. Could have saved Ryan for that extra auto. About Ryan, you finally get your ice ball off on somebody, which is cool. And here you should just kill Taric. Like, you're never going to kill Fiddlesticks. His drain is way too strong, and he's got support. Just one shot on Taric, finish him off, and then just die gracefully. Yeah, probably didn't even need to bother summoning heal. You're never going to win this fight. You ran away here when you could have just shot him and killed him. All this doesn't really matter too much though, because meanwhile they're basically getting bummed. Skip ahead because we go straight back to pressure and Baron, which is good because when you have so many minions in their base, they're going to have to deal with them. So you can get Baron either for free or you can force them to lose tons of their base for it. Okay, so we fight again, even though we actually lose this fight really badly. I see why now. You get way too close to Katarina there. Katarina kills you straight the fuck away. We don't have exhaust up, so there's no way we can get away from this. This is all your call to have to avoid Katarina. And because you die so early, we lose this fight horribly. Yeah, there's like no hope. Like Katarina's still alive. She doesn't die until my ult goes off. Your passive goes off. And we got no answer to the Vayne. It's not too bad though, because they lose all this shit. For some reason, their bot lane goes to mid. This is really dumb. Like they push out mid, when meanwhile this is going to kill this inhibitor. This is just going to walk straight into the nexus. Like Udyr can't handle this. Udyr has to back off from this to go to stop this, and they end up losing the inhibitor. Meanwhile, these guys are doing nothing. We're still actually losing on gold somehow because we keep losing team fights, but there's small things. Also the fact that we don't really have an answer to Vayne. Like, we have no strong anti-carry in our team. We're basically protected. I'm trying to play anti-carry and it's not really working. I basically just die horribly to Vayne, but all I do is waste Vayne's time. Might not be such a bad thing, but I guess it worked for us overall. We didn't win fights though because I don't think I was doing enough damage, but it's something for my video. So yeah, all we have to do now is siege them, and eventually they'll just get overwhelmed by minions and lose. We actually fight them, and we lose the fight. Oh, did we lose the fight? I can't remember. Either way, there's not much to take from this. Just keep killing the minions, kill all the minions, kill any inhibitors that respawn, and just wait for their base to get flooded. Like, at the moment, there's like 5 super minions in their base. With the next waves that come, we're both going to bring 2 supers each. Okay, so we fight here. This fight goes pretty badly for us, I think. You get killed straight away. Yeah. I get my ult off fairly well, but I wasn't going to pay attention to this fight because we'd already won at this point. Because we knew if they fought us, we'd just win the game because they wouldn't be able to stop the inhibitors. So I don't really care. I mean, look, there's no way you can stop that shit. That's GG. So I hope that was helpful. If you give me any feedback, it'll probably help me make the videos for the other guys. Be appreciated. Okay. Well, I hope you learned something. I hope I didn't seem too douchebaggy for constantly telling you where you went wrong. But yeah, now I've got to try and upload it, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be colossal because this game was 50 minutes long. Peace.